Why is this shirt so baggy? Do you ever feel like a plastic bag? A little bit, yeah, like right now, Katie. Right now. It's story time today. Hola, hello everyone. Welcome. It is so good to be back here again. In a different space too. Like clearly you can tell a couple things are different. So it is story time, but I do want to talk about also the reason why I've been gone so long. And also a couple other things kind of mixed into the story time. But first, thank you to everyone who has already subscribed. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys mean the world to me. If you haven't subscribed and you are watching this, then go ahead and click that button. Go ahead and get those bell notifications going so you never miss an episode. And also, so I can continue to give you consistent content because remember, consistency. I'm still trying to bring you consistency in 2020. 2020 is consistent with negativity right now, but we're gonna offset that negativity with some positive content. Okay, y'all work with me right quick because this lighting is acting like it wants to act up. And what it doesn't know is if you act up, you can get smashed. But yes, like and subscribe. So let's talk about everybody's favorite subject right now, Miss Rona, Miss COVID-19, okay? A global health pandemic affecting the world, okay? The world. As a sidebar, can we also talk about how at this point millennials have lived through just about everything? But whatever, back to COVID-19. So I know a lot of y'all saw the title of this video and y'all were like, oh my goodness, no, is she okay? Let me go ahead and click and be nosy. I just want to let you know I'm fine. Blood of Jesus, covered in everything. We're good to go. But a couple weeks ago, honey, that week leading into March, actually. Yeah. That one. So the one thing about me is I hate being sick. I can't stand it. It's one of my least favorite activities. But lo and behold, it came around end of February, that week leading into March. I started to feel under the weather. I started to feel very, very bad. Like it started out as maybe like a tickling in the back of my throat, which is how you know you feel that. And suddenly you're like, oh God, here it is, you know? Now, another thing about me is if I have to be sick, I will stay at home and treat it myself. And that's not a knock towards like modern medicine or any of that type of thing. It's just my pockets are never telling me to do anything healthcare related in these United States of these Americas. And quite usually, most of the time when I do go to a doctor's office, they usually tell me to do the exact same thing I was going to do at home anyway and just charge me $200 for it. So I tend to treat stuff myself at home, just get a lot of rest, a lot of fluids, and generally I'm feeling better and back up in a couple of days, maybe like 2 to 3 days. Now, I don't know what kind of illnesses anybody else has faced. I can only speak for myself and my point of view. I've never been so sick to the point where, like, I've heard of them when people say, oh, you've got chills, you've got, you need an extra blanket or something. Like, I've heard of that, but I never really experienced it for myself because I'd just never been in a situation like that in my life. So when I was, kind of heading into like the last part of the week and feeling like really bad, I was starting to get those. So towards the end of the week, I decided, let's go to the hospital. What really prompted me to finally go to the hospital was I was sitting there. It was maybe like in the evening, maybe like 8 o'clock at night, and I was sitting there and I couldn't breathe. That is such a terrifying feeling. When I was younger, I was asthmatic. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't know that about me. I don't really think it was a thing because, like, I grew out of it. Sometimes you just are asthmatic as a kid, and when you get older, you grow out of that, and that was the case for me. But during this time, while I was sick, that's exactly how I felt. Like, I felt like I needed my childhood inhaler. Like, it sent me right back to that time where I felt like, physically the walls inside my chest were just like closing in. Because you're sitting there and you're thinking, "Oh, I'm congested. This is what this is. Let me get up and blow my nose." But then you don't need to blow your nose. Nothing is coming out and you still can't breathe. Literally, it wasn't even really me. It was just something inside my spirit was like, "Hey, you're going to die if you don't go to the hospital. You should do that." And I was like, "You got a deal. Let's go." So I had one of my good friends pick me up and take me to the ER. Anyway, I get there and I'm sitting in the waiting room that you normally have. Whenever you go to the ER, there's a wait. And when it comes to, for me, when they call my name to get looked at by the nurses, oh, let me tell you, when I told them what was going on, and mind you, this is like the tail end of February leading into March, and this whole corona thing hasn't even been like a really huge concern with America yet. But when I started to tell them what was wrong with me, you know how you're someplace or you say something in a group of people and then everybody looks at each other, but nobody looks at you? Right. So I'm like, they're looking at me crazy because I could have dealt with this at home exactly like I thought. Yeah. Nope. So let me tell y'all something. When they tell you to stay home because that little test that they give you, okay, it's not fun. It's not at all, not in the slightest. Not even an iota of fun or entertainment to be found. So when they took out this huge swab and my optimistic self was like, "Oh yeah, okay, this will be for my ear." No, honey. When I tell y'all, I had to ask that nurse 3 times where she was putting it because I certainly thought that she was confused. I just wanted to make sure she got it right. But I got through it. Okay? Got through that. I'm a champ, okay? Not a quitter, all right? My mama didn't raise no. Due to HIPAA regulations, I'm going to enforce my own privacy and not get into too much detail as to what happened once I went to the back. Just that I was kept at the hospital for a couple of hours simply because I had a fever that would not go down. When they told me, "Hey, you have a temp of 104," I was incredibly surprised, mainly because I didn't have an at home thermometer. So this whole time I had had fevers before and I knew I was running one. But my general way to treat that just by myself was to like sweat it out, just wait for it to end, and typically, normally they did. So, not having that at home thermometer, which you should go out and get one of those if you can right now because it can save your life sometimes. So, if you don't have one, I would highly suggest getting one, just keeping it on standby in case you ever get into this situation. God forbid you succumb to COVID-19 or Corona. It just helps. Good news is I was very blessed, and in a matter of hours, my fever did reduce, and I was able to go home. They gave me, some meds to kind of control the fever, and just a couple of face masks. They actually gave me quite a bit of face masks when I left, which probably should have concerned me a little bit. Nevertheless, that was scary. That was kind of a close encounter of the corona kind that I was not thrilled to be a part of, but by the grace of God, I'm here alive to tell you guys about it, to let you know to wash your hands. Wash your hands. Pause this video and go wash your hands. How many times did you wash your hands today? Exactly. So why tell the story? Right. Okay. My official diagnosis was not COVID-19, which is great because I don't have to have that in my medical charts. However, some states are beginning to have kind of a soft reopening and open some things back up, which may or may not mean another wave of the virus coming through and another shortage because we don't have the amount of tests that we need right now. I'm not sure if I was properly diagnosed. Doesn't matter to me now. Like, I'm happy, I'm healthy. I don't need a diagnosis like that. But my only thing is just for others who may be experiencing kind of what I went through or maybe something similar, if they're going to get that proper diagnosis, if they're going to be able to fully understand the situation, like the health situation that they're in, and take proper precautions for themselves and their families. That's what I'm kind of worried about. The fact that we don't currently own the resources to diagnose everyone properly is an issue, and I've experienced that firsthand, and I don't want anyone else to have to go through that, because it's a really scary feeling going through something like what I went through, and then seeing what's on the news and understanding exactly how close you came to something really bad happening. You know, like, you never want to take something like this for granted, and you absolutely want to make sure that you are safe and that others around you are safe. Right now, I know our healthcare professionals here in America are doing everything they possibly can to keep this nation safe, to look after the sick, and to look after those who are affected by COVID-19. If you can, just stay home. If you don't know if you're asymptomatic. You don't know if that's just allergies, or if in a couple days it'll turn into something else. So just stay home and do the responsible thing. They will thank you for it. Your country thanks you for it. Your grandmama thanks you for it. I'm sure she does. But yes, by the grace of God, I'm here. I'm healthy. I feel so much better. If you're wondering, you don't even have to ask. That was like a month and some, yeah, about a month ago. So I'm definitely feeling much better now, and definitely grateful to be here after all of the travesties that I'm seeing online and reading about in the news. And it's a really bad situation right now. And I would encourage, even if you are one of those states like mine that's doing kind of a soft reopening right now, in certain, entertainment sections, or certain sections of the public may start to become, open and available again, I would just suggest just waiting it out, just more social distancing, try more quarantining. It's boring, it's not fun, nobody wants to do this, but I promise you, whoo, you do not want that other option that happens when you don't social distance and when you don't quarantine. You do not want that. No, sir. No, ma'am. Mm-mm. Y'all see this little sunshine coming out? Wait a minute. Okay, Mr. Sun. I got a pocket full of sunshine. I gotta live that I know that it's all mine. I feel so mysterious, like trying to have the sunlight like exactly on my eyes. Oh, oh, hello. I see you over wait, it's not. Social distance if you can. You're helping everybody out. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Y'all, I keep switching up the camera angle here because the lighting going crazy, and I don't understand. So that's it. That was story time. I'm alive. I'm healed. I'm covered. I'm blessed and highly favored. And I'm here to give you consistent YouTube videos now. Yes, that's right. Even in the middle of a global health pandemic. Nah, but really, I'm gonna try and do that pretty consistently. Um, yeah. Right now it's quarantine, and I ain't got nothing better to do than to bring you guys quality, awesome content. So that's right. You better look out for it. It's gonna be in your inbox. You're gonna get that bell notification. And I know you're gonna get it because you clicked on the bell notifications at the beginning of this video, like I asked you to. Thank you. Thanks, see? Yes, we're gonna get through this, okay? And if you haven't, baby, what is you doing? Go ahead, subscribe. Subscribe. Just do it now. Do it. I don't know what that song was about. I'm a child of God, okay?